2005 was another productive, though frustrating year for two of the most consistent players on the WPBA Classic Tour. Second-ranked Corr picked up another title at the Southeast Classic, but the Tour's major championships eluded the Irish invader. With second-place finishes at the BCA Open 9-ball and US Open 9-ball championship, she was tantalizingly close to a spectacular season. Monica Webb, the assassin, moved up to the number 3 ranking in the world. An incredible measure of consistency, considering she still searches for an elusive first tour title. As the Classic Tour rolls into 2006, both of these great players look to begin a new season with a big-time bang. From Rocky Mount, North Carolina, semifinal action at the Carolina Women's Billiards Classic presented by the American Pool Players Association. Hello everybody and welcome to fantastic Rocky Mount. Mitch Lawrence along with the Black Widow Jeanette Lee, excited as always to be here at the beginning of the 2006 season on the WPBA Classic Tour. Jeanette, we have already seen a fantastic semifinal matchup in which Kelly Fisher knocked off the #1 player in the world, Allison Fisher. This matchup, you always like the new stuff, everybody coming up, it's great. But this matchup between two seasoned players, Corr, the #2 ranked player in the world who knows what it means to win, and Monica Webb, so consistent but yet to gain a tour title. This is going to be a very, very interesting matchup, I think.
Right. Corr has worked harder and works harder than anyone that I've ever known. And she's very impressive, very solid. And again, she won't give away a match either. You're going to have to take it. But Monica, I'll tell you what, she is always right there. She's so hungry to win. Her composure is better. Her knowledge is better. Everything about her, she's right there. I think that it's time to see two of the newer faces on the tour, her and Kelly Fisher. But, you know, again, Karen can win anytime.
As we get ready for rack #1 here in Rocky Mount of our semifinal to see who moves into the final, here's a look at the road to get there. Corr, a relatively easy quarterfinal matchup against Val Finney, 9-2, and Monica Webb, a different story. Fantastic, tough, grinded out hill match against Kim Shaw. And one of these two players will move into that final down to 3 players who have a chance at the championship of the first event on tour here in Rocky Mount. Monica Webb from Atlanta, Georgia, has been at this quite a while, Jeanette. She has had a great career as a younger player. Took 3 years off after a bad car accident, has worked her way back to the #3 ranking in the world. And she would just absolutely love to take this next step and move into the finals. Her road begins right here.
She really is due. Her game has improved so much, and she's really at a point where I can't feel like there's anything that's just shouting out at me as a weakness. Her break is better, her stroke. But the biggest thing I ever felt was a weakness in her game was just her composure. You know, she just gets so fired up, whereas now, even though she's still that same fiery kind of person, passionate, but she still will make the time to make good decisions. She wants to make sure that she leaves Karen a fairly tough shot, and from this position it'll probably be a kick shot. Okay, she's left Karen sight on the 2-ball, so she can see the 2-ball, and now it's going to be a matter of her trying to play safety. There's no reward if she makes this ball, really. So she's looking at hitting the side rail and sending it back up table. The problem is the 7-ball. See, if she tried to cut this 2-ball, she most likely won't have a shot on the 3-ball. There's just a lot of bad things that can happen from it. She wants to hit it up table, but she doesn't want to hit that 7-ball. Oh!
You saw the path of the 2 go toward the corner and the cue ball sneak by the 9.
That's right. She was trying to make sure the cue ball got behind the 9 because she knew that there was a chance she'd hit that 7-ball. If she hadn't hit the 7-ball, the 2-ball would be down here at the other end of the table. But instead, it's near the pocket. She's going to hit it low to slow down the cue ball a bit, chop the 2-ball and let the cue ball come back up towards the middle of the table so that she could hit the 3-ball in the other corner pocket. Oh, she might have held it too much. Oh, three in the side. Three in the side.
The beauty of 6 pockets on the table.
That's right. And this is actually better. I just thought that she had too much angle to be able to slow the cue ball down that much. This is great. She could just follow right through. 3 ball on the side, let the cue ball float forward, shoot the 4 ball and the 5 ball in the corners.
So looking very nice for Monica Webb right now.
She's taken time because she's very, very straight. She wants to make sure that cue ball goes forward so she's not hidden behind the 8 ball. There, excellent.
Nice. As she gets ready for her next shot, we'll quickly give you the rules of this semifinal matchup. It's a race to 7 to get to the finals. They will alternate the break, and it'll be cue ball fouls only.
When you're too straight in, all you can do is go forward and backward. She really wants to try to create an angle with this 5 ball. The 4 ball is an easy shot, but if she ends up straight on the 5, she won't like trying to get position on this 6 ball. She's going to draw her cue ball back. Oh, no. And I understand why that just happened, and a lot of it is just she was so focused on trying to draw into the 8 and pull it out of the way so that it'd be easier to get position on 5. Unfortunately, the cue ball came across too far before it took backspin. So now, here we are.
Yeah, and you heard Monica just slam the chalk down. Little things along the way can prove big later on. We'll see if this is one of them.
She's got a really good chance to hit this ball. Unfortunately, she's going to have to hit it with some speed so that she can make sure she has a shot on the 6 in case she makes the 5, which makes accuracy more difficult. There you go.
Won't even get close there.
Yeah.
And that'll be ball in hand for Karen Corr. Early on, Monica Webb has to sit. An advantage, rack number 1 to the Irish invader. Ball in hand to this woman most times will mean that rack is pretty much over for you unless there's some strange tie-ups going on. We mentioned the word consistent about both of these players. Monica with a fantastic accomplishment of rising to the number 3 ranking without a win. And Karen Corr just continually playing solid. This is a little bit of a challenge right here, Jeanette.
Yeah, I was surprised with ball in hand on the 5 ball where she got on the 6 because it gave her very little angle. And she wanted to make sure she wasn't hooked by the 8, so instead she ended up hitting it too softly. She's got a nice cut on that 7 ball, though. The cue ball is naturally going to come around, but leaving her a little longer on the 8 ball than she would have liked. But Karen is a shot maker. She's just going to stroke this ball, go up the table, and back down. Did you notice Karen has more stylish pants on than I've ever seen? Got some hardware on the pockets and everything.
Fashion commentary by the Black Widow.
Well, you know, got to do what I got to do.
Always aware. You know what? It's a new season on tour. Things change. Clothing changes.
That's right.
We saw Kelly Fisher's new hairdo. Kind of a spiky deal.
Yeah.
And
Lots of fun.
And she will carry that into the finals. I'm sure you don't want to mess with that.
That's right.
After beating the number 1 player in the world, you don't change much. Tough 9 ball here for Karen. Needs it.
Ooh.
How many times have we seen it? Karen Corr taking advantage of a mistake by the opponent. She's first on the board here in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. The Carolina Women's Billiards Classic is brought to you by the Spider Training Device. See what the pros see. By the American Pool Players Association, the world's largest pool league. And by Brunswick Billiards. Since 1845, the standard of superior craftsmanship preferred by experts around the world. Let us take a look at another top finisher brought to you by the American Pool Players Association. This week in Rocky Mount, a wonderful finish for Tracy Hines of Spring Hill, Florida, currently ranked 24th in the world with a 9th place finish. The 2004 Georgia Regional Tour Player of the Year with a fantastic week in North Carolina. Here in Rocky Mount, North Carolina for semifinal action at the Carolina Women's Billiards Classic presented by the American Pool Players Association. Karen Corr at the table. The Irish Invader up 1-0 on Monica Webb. One of these two players will move into the finals to face Kelly Fisher for the championship. Safety battle back and forth at the beginning of rack 2, and Karen Corr has established control of this second rack table. And if you're Monica Webb, you do not want Karen to jump out to an early lead and put more pressure than is already on you trying to get to the finals. Mitch Lawrence and Jeanette Lee, the Black Widow, here in remarkable Rocky Mount, as they like to say here. And it is. Great spot. And Karen Corr, as always, very, very focused, Jeanette.
Yes. This is a bit of a tic-tac-toe out. What would you say? Connect the dots, really. Straight in on the 5. Want to make sure you kind of stop the cue ball right there. You don't want to be straight in on the 6, so leaving it there would be nice, natural angle.
Four balls left for a 2-rack lead. Nice stroke there. We want to take a moment to mention this terrific playing equipment. You see it, a beautiful black gold crown table, Centennial balls in the big break rack, all of them by Brunswick Billiards, and Simonis 860 cloth on the gold crown. We thank both those great companies for their support of the Women's Tour. And you know what, Jeanette, another thing about Karen, it's not just that she's going to be up 2-0, but she now has really started to establish some time at the table, and the feel of the cloth, the speed of the cloth, the things that, little subtle things that you really need if you want to play your best.
That's right. You can really see that she's got the speed of the table down. She's very comfortable, and all the balls are going in the heart of the pocket.
So after that safety battle at the beginning of the rack, Karen Corr puts rack number 2 in her column over Monica Webb. As referee Steve Tipton gets ready to begin this rack, we want to take a look at two of the terrific official sponsors of the tour, the Big Break Rack and Centennial Balls, both by Brunswick Billiards. Back here at Nash Community College in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, fantastic college, great community. 10,000 full-time, part-time students pass through these doors of higher education. And I don't think, Jeanette, we've been anywhere where the community has been any better than they are here in Rocky Mount, really supporting the tour. Yes. Second year we've been here. And you see Karen Corr behind Monica there, standing, wanting to see what's going on. That is a sign of a focused player on Karen Corr's part.
She's
and zip on the break, Jeanette.
Yeah, Karen was looking to see where Monica hit the cue ball and what happened to the ball so that she knows how to play the rack in case when she's breaking. She got a little bit fortunate there that she didn't leave Karen an easier shot.
It's interesting, though, you don't often see players standing up to try to figure out what the other player's doing with the break. It's just a sign that Karen is really in it right now.
Yeah, she's very focused, very in it, very hungry. There's nothing she takes for granted. It looks like she might have a shot here. Yes, she does.
Nice.
She wanted to make sure she hit the 9 ball so that her cue ball doesn't get away from her, and she has a nice shot. Straight in.
Those of you at home, we often talk about pre-shot routines, and there is no one, you can really learn a lot just watching Karen Corr, who does the same exact thing every time. She will visualize the shot, standing behind it, step into it, get down. It's really a great repetitive motion, Jeanette. I know you know how important it is to program that into your work.
Right, pre-shot routine, make a decision, picture the shot, trust yourself, let the shot go. She hit the 3-ball fuller than she wanted to, or the cue ball would have come over more. So she has a little more angle on the 4. But the nice thing about where everything's laid out, they've all been very close to each other except for the 4 to the 5. But as long as she has any angle on the 5, she's chopping the baby, and the cue ball is going to come back down for her to pop the 6 in the side. So she's good. She's in very good shape. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect.
Interesting thing about Karen, we've been watching her battle with Allison over the last however many years, and back and forth, 1 and 2, and Allison having a fair amount of success in maintaining her #1 ranking, and you know how hard it is to overtake somebody that plays at that level. I'll continue that in a second. Jeanette's flipping out here at what she's doing.
Well, a little bit short. She's okay. She would have liked to go a little further.
About.
I was actually, you know, when she was cueing at the ball, it looked like she was hitting it a very high ball, which would have brought her right into that 9 ball.
I think she's going to be good. Interesting face on Karen. She needs, what I was going to say, Jeanette, just to finish that thought, is the way to get better and to overtake players like Allison or anybody else that's at the top of their game is doing what Karen is doing. She's playing in men's tournaments. She's playing against competition that she thinks will make her a better all-around player. And she's been doing really well. I know you like playing against the men. I know it says a lot about games that you all want to get to, and that's one way to accomplish the goal out here on the women's tour.
Yes, that's true. I've always been an advocate of always playing to the higher competition, constantly pushing yourself to grow. And that's what makes these players so great, is they're not afraid to play tougher players. They look forward to it rather than, you know, people say, well, who do you fear the most on the tour? And I went, fear? I welcome it. I look for it. You know, if we wanted to beat on people, I'd go home and beat all the guys in my pool room, you know.
Well, what's interesting is, I thought a huge event for Karen last year as she looks down this 9 was winning a Joss Tour stop in Glens Falls, New York. It wasn't on the Classic Tour, but it said mountains about the talent of Karen Corr against good competition. She now leads by 3 racks over Monica Webb. Here in Rocky Mount at Nash Community College, and we've mentioned before about what a great community effort it has been, none more so than Tony Davis and the folks at Prime Quest. We want to thank them for their help. They are the manufacturers of a great training aid. Jeanette, I know you know about the Spider.
Yes, I endorse the Spider, actually. And Prime Quest, they really are a company that's looking for more innovative ways to help teach people about pool, how to play like the pros play. And so this is the first step, is where do you aim? How do you hit the ball? And where's my cue ball going? And that's really what the Spider does for you. And you'll see more with Prime Quest. They're going to have more and more instructional items out there.
That's great. You see the reaction of the community here. People have loved it all week. And the Chamber of Commerce here in Rocky Mount, that is run by Ed Baisden, the executive director, now over 100 years old. Ed's not over 100 years old, but the Chamber of Commerce is. And they have done absolutely fantastic work making all of us at home this week. If you get a chance, come on by to Rocky Mount. I think you'll like it a lot. And Karen Corr loving it right now, up 3-0 over Monica Webb.
Karen's not hitting the balls very hard. I mean, you could really tell the difference between her break and the previous breaks. She made the corner ball. The one didn't go in on the side. And that's what she's going to continue to try to figure out as the racks go on. She will eventually start making the one on the side because she doesn't want to depend on that corner ball.
Pushing out.
Her cue ball got kicked down to the end of the table.
So for the third time in 4 racks, a push out to start this rack. After the break, Monica will decide, do I want it, do I not? She's got to be feeling it a little now, Jeanette.
Right.
Down 3-0.
She's definitely feeling the pressure. She needs to make a smart move here. The natural thing for a person to think is to cut the one ball down here and leave the cue ball here. The problem is if you hit this ball too hard at all, you're in a bad spot. I would actually rather thin the one ball into the 3, cutting the one into the 3, and letting the cue ball go up table to the side rail, back down towards where the cue ball is right now.
I'm playing safe off the side.
That's right, off the side. Hit the one ball, let it go off the 3, back down towards the 9, let the cue ball come back up towards those balls, the 5 and the 8. Come on, there you go, just like that. She hit a little fuller than she wanted to. She wanted to hit it full, but that's still a little fuller than she wanted to. No matter what, she was going to leave her a tough shot.
I was going to say, not bad, long, tough. Cue ball almost on the rail from Monica.
And maybe Monica didn't see that. Maybe she didn't like lagging the one into the... This is no piece of cake either. That's the problem with that shot. Ugh. That pocket was huge from there. She was trying to let the cue ball follow to the end rail and bank that one ball up, but she cut the ball too much, unfortunately, therefore prohibiting her from having enough topspin.
And this is, for Monica, not the way she envisioned this semifinal to begin. Down 3-0, ball in hand for Karen Corr. And every time, and I hesitate talking about it, Jeanette, but I think it's a fact that Monica's going to have to start dealing with every time. Obviously, you learn by playing, and she has way too much talent. But the more the semifinal matches that she doesn't make it into the final start adding up, the more that weight kind of sinks down on you. She'll have to find a way to deal with it. This match is not over. I'm not saying it is. But she's in a position where if you're playing against Karen Corr, again, that cue ball drifts. But if you're playing against Karen Corr, you want to get off quickly, and Monica has not been able to do that.
Right. I'm surprised she chose to take it that way. She still, it's not a problem. She can make the 2 ball in the corner, cut it backwards, let the cue ball go to the end rail this way, and back over here for the 3 ball. It still surprised me. Now, Monica's really going to have to get a little bit more positive. You know she's hungry, but I think she's more disgusted than hungry right now, and she needs to get her stuff together.
Yep, there was a little bit of a look of kind of that
disgust.
Right, disgusted resignation on her face that here we go again, and that's when you want to stay away from. Question is, will Karen Corr give her room to breathe? It's what she's good at, is kind of snuffing you out.
Karen doesn't take much chances. If she doesn't know for sure she's making this ball, she's going to duck and leave you in a bad, bad place. You're going to have to really...
The dark place.
Yeah, you generally have to pull a miracle to get out of her traps. So when she has opportunity, she really needs to make more of it. And Monica might be making some decent decisions, but I don't think she's taking the time to really picture it happening, or her body would have told her, hey, this doesn't make sense.
Puts that extension away from the cue. Karen has been such a great story out here on tour.
She came a little further than, I'm sorry,
No,
she came a little further than she wanted to because of this angle. The cue ball wants to get behind this 9. She's going to either have to really just shoot the ball and then draw out of it or follow and stroke it around. She doesn't want to really just leave it there. Let's see what she does. There you go. She drew out of it.
Very solid stroke.
She sacrificed by letting herself take a longer shot in order to have a better angle on it. So now all she really has to do is stop the ball.
Six right there, 7 gone on the break. 3 left for a 4-rack lead for Karen Corr. Started out this week with 64 players here in Rocky Mount, and Karen Corr's first 3 matches, difficult ones, defeating Alice Rim, Belinda Calhoun, Romana Dokovic. Tough matches, all 3 of them. And then 2 easier matches against Miyuki Sakai, 9-2, and Val Finney, 9-2. And it seemed, Jeanette, that she just, once she hit those matches, just picked up gear. And just literally, that was like a gust going through those 2 on her way to this semifinal matchup.
Karen is always very hungry, and if you give her the opportunity, she will just torture you.
Karen Corr keeping the breathing room to a minimum so far for Monica Webb. 4 straight racks to open this semifinal. A look we've become very used to seeing out of the Irish Invader. Karen Corr very focused. You'd think she's having a tough time, but in reality 4-0 over Monica Webb as we move into rack 5. Here's what happened in rack 4. The beginning of that rack, Monica with a foul, ball in hand for Karen. Worked her way strongly through that rack, that 4th rack, to get it on the board. Monica Webb with the break in rack 5. And as Karen waits, Jeanette Lee and Mitch Lawrence with you. And Jeanette, Monica has got to get this rack. There's just simply no other way to put it. She needs something that's going to turn her entire day here so far in Rocky Mount around.
She has to run this rack out. She needs to have a shot on the break. She needs some rolls her way. She needs everything. She's got the tools, but she's just got to bring it together here. And you know, I want to say this before we go on because I think that it's the most commonly asked questions in regards to Karen Corr is what she likes. Oh, this is the kind of thing she needed. Yeah! She knows she needed that.
You know, she takes direction really well. We said she has to get the break and she has to win it quickly. And that's what you get. 9 on the snap. Now watch this. Well,
6 more of those.
There it goes, right down table. Fantastic. Crowd loves it, and it's what Monica needed. Loosened her up a little bit.
It got kicked in, Steve.
And Karen will never change her expression. That expression right there is what you will see until the end of the entire tournament. She will not let it phase her, but that was a much-needed quick rack for Monica Webb. We'll see, Jeanette, maybe loosening up like that, take a little of the pressure off, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, her focus was broken.
Karen Corr will continue on her very focused path, trying to get to the finals. In an instant, we went from 4-0 to 4-1. Just a blip on Karen Corr's radar. We'll try to answer.
Again, now Karen, if you notice how she controlled her cue ball to make sure that she was going to have a shot on the 1, unfortunately the 5 ball got in the way. It's still a pretty easy, you know, combinations are never really that easy, but it's still a relatively easy combination. She's just got to make sure that after she hits this 1 into the 5, she has a shot. which means she's got to hit it with a little bit of speed here. Ooh.
And as you said, relative is the key word on any combination. Always missable.
Karen, what am I saying? Monica has to make this one ball. It's not a hanger. There's a little bit of cut. She should make it. She wants to be careful of the 6 ball, the green 6 right there. And just let the cue ball either miss the 6 off altogether or come off the back of it. There's a bit of a cut, and you want to stroke the ball harder than you do, but at the same time, she wants to make sure she has a shot on the 2 ball. Oh, no.
That is pure frustration right now for Monica Webb.
She was really thinking about avoiding that 6 ball. That's really what it is. And unfortunately, once you get down, you need to just forget about the 6 ball.
That's such a key. That is such a good point, that you better take care of the object ball first and foremost, and then worry about what happens after.
You try to you try to avoid the 6 ball by making a decision on what you're going to do with the cue ball. But once you make that decision, it's all about making the ball.
And we'll see if Karen can take care of this rack, but that kind of seemingly small thing, you have Monica makes a 9 on the break.
Mm-hmm.
If she could get that rack, she would get it within 2 and have the break in the next rack. You know, little things here and there with so much meaning in the course of a match.
And I believe she could make the 4 ball in the corner behind the 5, but she's going to go around it because she'd really have to kind of change how that. Look at this. How perfect is that? This way, you don't even have to worry about whether or not the 5's in your way. Just stroke it right. But her speed control was perfect. I wanted to say this earlier. A lot of people ask me what Karen's like because with her stern look all the time, she never smiles, and people really don't know what her personality is like. And she's actually a horrible person. No, I'm just kidding.
I so knew you were going to say that.
No, she's actually quite nice. I think she's very smart. She really just has such a passion for the game, and she works so hard. She just wants it so badly, and it's easy to think that it means that she has no personality, but she really does. Especially, you get her relaxed at the bar a little bit, and this girl's hilarious.
Say, away from the table, one of the most fun people to be around that you will be around.
And
great sense of humor.
Yes, but without being relaxed, she's not really stuck up as much as she's shy. And a lot of people don't know that, but she can be very shy, embarrassingly shy.
It does take a lot in anything when you have talent to get out in front of the world and be willing to show people what you do, whether you succeed or not. It takes a lot of courage to get out there, and Karen Corr has given up a life in her native land of Ireland, as a lot of players on tour have come from around the world here. A decade ago, she was making money by driving a forklift at a pineapple plant. Mm-hmm. And again, you heard that. Yeah, you heard her reaction, Jeanette.
Yeah, I'm not really happy with that. She needed to draw the ball more so that she could just kind of stop the cue ball and shoot the 8 ball in the other pocket. But now she has a little bit of an angle. She has a choice of either following down table and back up or going right. There you go. And that's what she chose to do. The other choice was to go right into the 9 ball, but this is the safer option, and she is a safe player. Drawing the ball straight back.
Oh, 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 oh. You saw that left arm come up quickly.
She likes to communicate. But she's a tall, very long player. This is no problem.
There you go. Monica Webb, the 9 on the break in rack 5. Karen Corr with a chance to answer, and does. Up by 4 again in North Carolina. For the second consecutive year, we find ourselves in Rocky Mount, North Carolina at Nash Community College. We are very grateful to be here on tour. People in this community have done so much to get the event, to keep them here. And Rocky Mount, the home of Prime Quest. Tony Davis and his whole staff doing a great job. Prime Quest makes a wonderful, wonderful training device. Jeanette, I know you know about it, the Spider.
Yes, Prime Quest is really a company that wants to really develop instructional tools for people who want to play like the pros play. And the Spider is just one of the first things they have. It teaches you everything about how to make the balls, where the cue ball is going. It's a great tool that I use in the Blackwood experience.
We thank Tony Davis and all the people at Prime Quest and the community at large here in Rocky Mount. Monica Webb trying to keep herself composed. And she should take heart. If she watched the Kelly Fisher-Allison Fisher semifinal, Allison was up 6-3 and on the hill. Kelly Fisher with 4 racks in a row to win that semifinal. So it's not done yet. She just needs to stay involved, Jeanette.
I'm sure she would have liked to have an easier shot than this, but she does have a shot to win here. She needs to cut this 2-ball in high, little bit of left-hand English to come over to the other side of the table and across. Ooh, she overcut it. And, of course, she's going to leave Karen straight in. And all Karen needs to do is stop her ball.
Let us see if Monica can capitalize.
You see how much that bothered Karen, and
Yeah.
she's up 4-1, and that's the killer in her. That's the killer. She wants to crush her, 7-1. She doesn't want to give up even one game. Monica just doesn't look very comfortable, I'll tell you the truth. Oh. Did you see her jump just a little bit there? The Atlanta Assassin. Hard to think of her as an assassin because of her cute little accent.
It brings up a good point, though. When you want to have something happen so badly, tendency, I think, is to kind of move around to make things happen to get, and in essence, you really need to just settle into a center and play. So we'll keep an eye on Monica and see whether she's able to do that.
Okay, really, really at this point, love the idea that she came around and looked at it from the perspective of where the cue ball is going to be, what kind of shot she'll have on the 6, and if she'll even like it. I really like that. It says something right now. She's making sure now. A little bit more. Very good. Good enough. See now, ideally, it looks like she has a little bit of an angle, but ideally, if she could just be right where the 6 ball is, exactly where the 6 ball is, then it's natural for the 7 ball to go in that pocket and the cue ball to come back here for the 8 ball. There's a little bit of an angle on the 6 ball, which means that the harder you hit it, the further away from the 6 ball it'll go. Someone's phone is ringing. They forgot to turn it on vibrate.
Get up there and tell him, Jeanette.
I'm about to. She'll tell him. Oh. Very good.
What we were talking about earlier about spending some time at the table and actually being there and getting to settle in. That's what Monica's doing now. That she did not really have a chance to do before. Even the rack she has on her side of the board was a 9 on the break.
I like this. I like everything about the way she's stroking the balls, what she's looking at, how crisply she hit each of these last 3 balls.
You know something, Jeanette, she is a fighter. No matter what's going to happen in this match against Karen, she needs, the important thing that I like about this is that now she's almost saying, no matter what happens, I'm here and I'm learning something, I'm playing. I'm going to gain some experience. And of course, because I'm saying that, she is.
When it's going good, it's going good. Wow.
Nothing you can say. Ball in hand on the 8 for Karen Corr. On the 9, excuse me. And that on the hill. One rack away from moving into the finals is the Irish Invader. The Carolina Women's Billiards Classic is brought to you by Brunswick Billiards. Since 1845, the standard of superior craftsmanship preferred by experts around the world. And by the Spider training device. See what the pros see. Closed captioning provided by Ozone Billiards. Monica Webb shaking her head here in Rocky Mount. Moving into rack number 8. Karen Corr 1 rack away from moving into the finals, leading 6-1. And in rack 7, this is symbolic of Monica Webb's day. And you see her throw her hands up, turned around, said, when it's going good, it's going good. It has just been off, Jeanette. It has just been Monica here and there, just off.
Yes, things are not going her way, but I don't think that it was just poor luck. She really needed to make sure she stayed away from the side pocket by choosing a place on the rail she wanted to hit. And I know she didn't want to hit there.
We talk about it a lot, that you better be very specific about what you want to happen.
Because otherwise, Murphy's Law, that's just the way it is. Fortunately for her, Karen has a difficult shot ahead of her. She's got the 1 ball in the corner pocket, but even if she makes this, the cue ball is going to be going in this direction, dangerously close to the 8 ball, with the 2 ball having a number of obstacles to keep her from seeing it. It might be worth it for her to do something different. Looks like she's going for it, though. She's going to try to hit the side rail and come out. Oh, wow.
For a second, it looked like it was going to sneak behind it.
Yeah, it would have been great. Right now, she's looking to see if she can just hit that 2 ball away anywhere and leave the cue ball stuck right on that 5, but it doesn't look like it. She's going to have a cut number no matter what. But if she can cut the 2 ball to the end rail, make sure it reaches the rail. Let the cue ball hit the 5. Let the 2 ball come here, and let the cue ball just nestle behind the 5-3. Wow.
Chooses to play it completely differently. Just like you said, she just didn't feel like she could just keep it there.
But I'm very surprised she chose to shoot it that way, and she might have gotten a little fortunate. No, it looks like she can clear the 5 ball. She's going to pop the 2 in the side. The cue ball's got to go up table and come back down with good speed for position on the 3 ball. She wants to hit the 2 ball here. Let the cue ball come past the 5, back up table, ideally ending up right about here for the 3 ball. Boy, it looks close to that 5 ball. I hope she can avoid it. You know what? I didn't think that she could hit that other side of the 2 ball otherwise. But she missed that by quite a bit.
She will take her seat now. If Monica gets knocked out, Karen can get this rack and knock her out. Interesting for Monica that she will have established a bit of a pattern with 4 top 3 finishes at the end of 2005. This would give her another third-place finish. Safety by Karen.
Very nice. Lots of spin. Left-hand spin. Oh.
And that was, she got down over that very quickly, Jeanette.
Yeah, she really
Stroke
did.
on it. It's almost like a resignation move of.
And that's what's disappointing. You know, the thing about all of us is as fast as we can play good and then play bad, you can play horrible and then play
snap
great.
it around, right?
And you've always got to feel like you're going to get another opportunity. So when you do, be ready. Be ready to take it. And that means taking your time. And she never plays great rushing like that. So why not take the time you would if you were playing the best pull of your life? And it also says something to your opponent. Watch out. Wow. It does say something to your opponent when you rush like that because it gives them that much more confidence.
Yep. Big exhalation as that cue ball rolled right up next to the 8. You want to win a match anytime you can. If you're Karen, you really want to end this one now. Give her good momentum, beating a tough player like Monica Webb. 7-1 to move into the finals. And carry that in against a very, very hot Kelly Fisher right now.
And I have to say, I've known Monica a long time. She plays a whole lot better than this, trust me. So this is uncharacteristic. This is not the Monica that we know. Unfortunately, this is the Karen that we know.
Monica's going to have to look at this one. After some disappointments last year, when you get this close with all these top 3 finishes, to move into the finals is what it's about. She has met a lot of her goals. The new ones are a little bit more challenging when you've got to beat players like Allison Karen, the players ahead of you in the rankings. And right now for Monica Webb, there are only 2. This woman and the Duchess of Doom. When you get the chance, you have got to take advantage. We'll see if she can do that next time around. A little bit of a tough cut on the 9 for Karen Corr. She will take her time, no question about it. If this 9 goes, she will move into the finals.
Man.
Good work by Karen Corr. And for Monica Webb, she will talk about it, think about it. We will see her again in 2006. Not a question in my mind that the assassin will be back. She will have something to digest. But for now, Karen Corr, 7-1. Now it's time for our super shot of the match, brought to you by Ozone Billiards, your online source for billiard supplies. For Monica Webb, it was her one brief shining moment of the match. Rack number 5, down 4-0. A big break. 9 gets kicked right into the corner pocket. That was the lone score for Monica Webb. 7-1, Karen Corr over Monica. She holds up the ball. Great sense of humor there. And as I said, we will see Monica Webb again. Here is our updated road to the final. And now there are 2. Out of 64, Kelly Fisher, 5th ranked, Karen Corr, 2nd ranked in the world, will go after the title at the Carolina Women's Billiards Classic. We're glad you've been with us. Keep your eyes open for that final matchup. For Jeanette Lee, I'm Mitch Lawrence. So long, everybody, from Rocky Mount. Accommodations have been provided by the Holiday Inn Rocky Mount. Relax, it's Holiday Inn. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.